Hello there. I know this is not a map that you normally see on my channel. Normally it's like the Wixo map or like a regular map, but I think you've only ever seen the World War II map like once. Anyways, this is actually a video that I don't think I've done before, but it's like how I think Germany could have won World War II. And I'm not gonna like make it too fancy on. If I do an alliance, I'm just gonna do this. Oh god damn it, not this. Oh my god. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to. You're just gonna have to deal with like this because I can't be able to fix it. Anyways, first of all, as you know, the French had a small amount of control over the Rhineland, and this amount, I believe, had to be demilitarized. However, Germany chose to remilitarize it. And then like they kicked France out of this area, which means Germany was German again. I feel like this was pretty smart. Anyways, second of all, I'm pretty sure that the answer list obviously is like not actually good, but it did like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to color in each pixel. Okay, that's gonna take too long. I'm just gonna like, obviously it wasn't good like on a political standpoint, but it did like sort of help them win. Didn't these guys have like a bit more? Like I think they had like land over here, I believe. I don't really know my World War II map. I have only ever seen a map of World War II a few times, so I'm not actually sure. I think it was something like this though. Let's just roll with that. Anyways, here is where I'm actually going to sort of split the timeline, like from like real life. Say this is it, and real life goes this way. I'm going to split it off about there. World War II Germany wanted to unite all German people, so first of all, they took the Sudetenland, which I believe looks like this. Again, don't necessarily know that well on World War II maps, so I do not actually know. Anyways. Let me just get rid of this outline. Anyways. Yes, this is what happened in real life. However, then they took the rest. This is also where... What in the ever-loving hell? Anyways. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with that for now. Anyways, this is where they form the axis between Germany, Japan, which is not on this map obviously, and Italy. And they also add Hungary to it, and I believe Bulgaria. Now, I'm also going to color in the Entente and the Little Entente, which I believe was them. I'm not exactly sure though. Anyways, also I'm not gonna like color in like not Germany. I'm not gonna color in like I'm not gonna color in the Middle East. Anyways, these were the sides, and then the Germans began invading into Czechoslovakia, and eventually they took the whole thing, which in this time isn't going to happen. Instead, they implement a new government and get that government to be on their side. And then these nations begin an invasion of the Little Entente, which goes surprisingly well, with an invasion from both sides eventually cutting Yugoslavia in half, leading to the fall of down here, and an invasion from up here taking Slovenia, sorry, and multiple landings eventually leading to all the coastline getting taken. Eventually the whole area would fall, leading to them surrendering, leading to them surrendering, and B, their division. First of all, Germans get Slovenia, like they wanted. The Italians get all of this coast, I think that's what they wanted. They get all of this coast, and they also get these islands. Not islands, probably islands. Where else would there be like a border? I could be wrong though. Sorry, let me just... I'm gonna stop talking about whether something could or could not be an island, and I'm just gonna get rid of these borders. Okay, so down here, all this becomes a part of them. And then the Bulgarians get all of Macedonia. And then Hungary, they get, I believe I used, 3 pixels. They gain land up here. And then the rest of Yugoslavia would join as a puppet. Let me just get a slightly different shade of red. Okay, that's hard to notice. Okay, that's easier to see. Nope, that is not. It's hard to see. Yeah, that's easier to see. And then we would see Romania join their side. And then eventually, we would see Greece join their side. And then a war would happen with these guys. I'm not even going to bother colouring it in. They would fall. These two would just split over here. Like this. So Bulgaria gets that off and Greece gets this. Yeah. So it's like this. And then the war would start. However, they would get the Spanish on their side. Germans would instantly manage to go all the way through these guys. Dunkirk would happen, but a lot more deaths would happen on the Allied side. And then they would begin invading. No, not yet. Eventually, this area would fall, and then a spearhead would take Paris within a few months, maybe, and then eventually all of it would fall. Just like real life. this would go to Germany, and this would be Vichy France. So let me just do that, and of course the Italians would get some land. Let's say this land, because why not? Mainly because I can't. I'm pretty sure this is what happened. And they would also gain Corsica. Oh yeah, and Poland. I'm gonna do an ADIS Pro, and I'm gonna just sink it into the ocean. Now Britain. Churchill would give his "Oh, Britain stands alone" speech. Oh yeah, also this happens. Just forgot to mention it. This happens. Churchill gives his "Britain stands alone." Oh crap, we are dead. Yeah, the Germans sort of tricked the Navy by sending boats around here. Obviously they die. They also send them over here and they die. However, the opposite of D-Day happens. C-Day, Cornwall Day. And then they begin going along the coast. I'd say maybe by 1942, because I'm pretty sure Britain had the biggest army at this time, I think. All of the southern coast would happen. And then the eastern coast would fall. And then the Scottish would rebel. And then the Irish would rebel. And then join up with Ireland. What? And eventually, after a long time, Britain would fall. And then Project Barbarossa would happen. Let's quickly just unsink them. Germans would take all of the Baltics. They manage to get to Sevastopol, and something would happen. They take St. Petersburg. Then the Finnish and the Swedish would join, as well as the Turkish. And then all of them together would manage to take the southern area of the Soviets, and then eventually, yeah. Obviously the US would probably get involved, and obviously they would also be like, unlike the Germans who would have to split, no, unlike the British and French who would have to split up their army because like the Italians have land here so they can obviously invade the Tunas, and the Japanese are in Asia, they would, which means the Entente would have to split up their military. However, since Germany's only here, so they wouldn't have to split up their military, which means that, if I'm being honest, there's like a very low chance this would work, but like it might, in case Germany never wants to try round 3.